Dan.
Dee and you.
We made it 1 week, dude. We made it 1 week.
We completely changed the schedule of this podcast, thinking that, okay, we're going to be able to be together more often. And 1 week in, here we are, 1 week.
Listen, we don't have that much time. I don't want to spend too much railing on Chris's family, but listen. ChrisGatesFitness.com is opened up for applications right now. And I'm just telling you, I don't know if you should trust him because his family's immune system is terrible. So, shouts to Chris, doing a lot of work for a lot of great people, doing a lot of great work for people. But I wonder if their immune systems are better than his family's.
I hope, because I don't know they're all just constantly getting each other sick, it seems like, at this point. And at one point, those infant children are going to be having to take care of their parents at this rate, of who's going to take care of who. One day that's going to have to switch, and it's going to be a lot sooner than they want at this rate. So vitamin C, because we preached that a couple times, put it on the playlist, everything. I don't know what we got to do. Anymore. But they're in a bubble too. They're in a bubble, their own house. It's just them. What's happening?
It's like, I need to see, because Chris is putting, progress up from his clients and stuff. I need his progress for his kids. I need Olivia, it's we've been working on her immune system and she's been great. And she fought
off a cold virus in 1 day this week.
Yeah.
It's a huge progress from 1 week. We're getting there.
It's like we've gone 2 weeks without Shar being sick. That's what we need.
Right.
Oh, Chris, we love you, man. Get better.
Dude, get well. We got a wedding coming up, and I don't need any of this garbage happening the week of the wedding. So I don't know what you guys are doing. Change it. Do something different. Lock yourselves in rooms. I don't care.
Will you allow him to go to the wedding in a bubble?
If that's what it takes to get him there, yeah. Better than him not being there. So he can miss 50 more episodes of the Brunch Breakdown if he wants to, but that week, no excuses.
Yeah. He's at what point, because it is now May the 3rd, your wedding is May 21st.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
May 21st. And at what point do you literally have to call him up and say, I need you to put yourself in a bubble?
I think at least 1 week before, at a minimum, right? It seems like that's how it's rotating through. And it seems like May 3rd to May 21st isn't a lot of time, but that's also enough time based on the history of his family and his house. They'll get through this sickness and then there'll be one more. So I can't make the date too early, right? Because there's probably another cycle rolling through. I hate to put that bad energy out there, but it just seems like we'll get through a couple days and then there'll be another one. So we'll make it a week. Is when I got to call him and say, lock your door, bubble it up, do what you got to do. All orange juice all the time. Just get through the week. That's what you got to do.
I'm going to be very annoyed if I travel all the way from LA and Chris gets me sick. The person who lives in Pittsburgh is the one who gets me sick. Not all the people I'm going to pass in the airport with connecting flights and all that stuff and all the nonsense it takes to get from LA to Pittsburgh at this time. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be very annoyed if Katie is the person who gets me sick.
Right.
So I was like, actually, who's sitting at their table? Because I don't know if I need to right now. I don't know.
At this point, things are shuffling, things are moving around. So maybe I should send some warnings to those that are scheduled to sit at that table.
Give them because I imagine you and Shannon probably have a sweethearts table of your own.
We do.
How about you give them their own sweethearts table too?
Right now on the other corner, they're back there why is Chris and Katie sitting back there by themselves? Worried about getting people sick. They're not worried about getting sick. They're worried about getting people sick.
Yes. Yeah. Getting people sick. Yeah. Just give them their own corner of the dance floor. Give them their own square. They can just hang out.
It's a big enough room. We could certainly make that happen.
Yeah. Let's do that. What's up? It's the Brunch Breakdown. It's Dee out here in Los Angeles. Dan is in Pittsburgh. And Chris, like you've just heard, he is sick this week, but he'll be back next week. We hope he'll be back next week.
That's the plan.
Yes, he will be back. All right. On the episode today, we are going to be doing a Brews Day topic during Brews Day. We're going to be talking about tattoos and beer and this fun little thing that is going on. Also, we saw on Twitter a guy who was at a piano bar. Somebody came up to him, gave him $100 and told him to play Freebird. So we got a little topic about that as well. And Dan's going to hash out some wedding stuff. And we might have brunch court. We've got music. We've got a lot to get to. Dan, let everybody know where they can find the Brunch Breakdown.
That's everywhere you can find podcasts. You can find the Brunch Breakdown: Apple, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Audible. Did you hear one of your favorites on there? You probably did. And if you didn't, we're there too. So find us there, hit follow, hit subscribe. Let the episodes come to you every Wednesday morning now. We had that change up last week. You're just joining us for the first time in a couple. We're Wednesday morning now. So let those episodes come to you each and every Wednesday morning by hitting follow, hitting subscribe. Full videos are also available on our YouTube page and our Facebook page. Those still premiere at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, now on Wednesdays as well. Same day as the podcast release. And of course, available on demand anytime you want to watch those as well. And of course, we're everywhere on social media because we're everywhere on everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Trailer, TikTok. Simply find us by searching at Brunch Breakdown. And of course, don't forget the Sounds of Brunch exclusive playlist of what we're listening to exclusively on Spotify. Simply search Sounds of Brunch.
I love it, Dan. All right. Now let's get some random topics off our chest. And I'll go first because mine is kind of quick. And it leads into next week because we'll probably do some sports brunch stuff next week. But I have to say, shouts to Kenny Pickett from Pitt being the only quarterback taken in the first round by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He played for Pitt in college. I just want to say, I hope that he likes the city of Pittsburgh. And he might, and that is perfectly fine if he does. I love Pittsburgh myself. All I'm saying is, I think it is very unfair, and I think you should have a choice. If you have to just stay in the same city you went to college, I just think that's unfair. I just don't. If somebody called me right after I graduated from college and was like, "You have to stay in Morgantown," I would have a huge problem with that. Yeah. And yes, I know he's going to make, millions of dollars and all of that, and that's fine. But I still am just like, he's like a 24-year-old guy, and now he has to stay in the same place while everyone else that he's probably graduated college with is just figuring it out, going wherever they want to go, and maybe even coming back to where they were. And that's fine. But Kenny Pickett, I hope you like Pittsburgh because you're going to be there for quite possibly a very long time. Ben Roethlisberger never left. You might be the next one. You may never leave. I just hope you like Pittsburgh because, man, oh man, like, drafts are unfair in that regard. Like, if you hate the place you went to college and then you get drafted there, it's a problem. Had to get off my chest.
Well, that's a great point. I don't think a lot of people think of it in that light. It's like, how cool is it that you get to stay in Pittsburgh and the city and things already? And like, that's true. But in the back of someone's mind, you could be like, oh, I was going to get to go somewhere new people, new media. No, it's all the same, which, like, there's a level of comfort with that, but that might wear up for some people. Oddly enough, since we were hoping to do some sports brunch this week, my chess segment is also about Kenny Pickett. It is. It's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful.
What I have to give off my chest is absolutely nothing because Kenny Pickett is a freaking Pittsburgh Steeler, and I am loving it. I am loving life. It is so good right now. No complaints. Everything is great. Wedding stress, put it aside. What I thought would be a miracle pick actually happened because I'm like, no way, not happening. You wish for it, you hope for it. We've been hearing this for months in Pittsburgh. Well, what if they take Kenny Pickett? They could take Kenny Pickett. And you hear all this other stuff about other quarterbacks. They like, oh, is he going to be there? Is he not going to be there? I'm like, this doesn't happen. The Steelers won't move up. It ain't happening. He's going to end up in Carolina or Atlanta, and I'm going to have to root for one of those teams. And I was like prepared for that. I was ready. I was ready for that. New Orleans, let's go. Okay, Kenny Pickett time. The screams of joy that I had this past Thursday night, night one of the draft, were Shannon was alarmed, greatly alarmed. She couldn't believe. And she was obviously prepared for that moment, but she still couldn't believe. I'm running up and down the house, fist pumping, yeah, and this, yeah, and that. And I just like, if Franco comes up and I'm like, oh, it's a Penn State guy. He's not going to pick a Pitt guy. It's just not happening. It's just, I just got bad vibes right away. Sat there, kind of crossed my fingers, and I was like, miracle. They're parading this man around town like he's already won the Super Bowl. Let me tell you, it is happening. The media frenzy and parade that Kenny Pickett on is unlike any other I've seen. Sorry, Mr. Trubisky, your time's already up. You haven't even taken a snap in spring ball yet, but it's Kenny time. The one beef I have, I will say this, and I don't care if I would say this to his face, but he's not here with us. Chris. My beef is with Chris. Do you want to know why? Want to know why? Night one of the draft starts at 8:00. It's in prime time. And a very good source to me, close to me, tells me that Chris didn't make it after pick number 8. He went to bed. Never witnessed the moment. Didn't know until the next morning that Kenny Pickett was a Pittsburgh Steeler. So that I have a bit of a beef with, but I know he's not here to defend himself, and he maybe will next week. But Chris, come on, man. One night. Dude, you have to at least stay up for Kenny.
That's funny because I waited to get, because I think I got Wingstop that night, or we picked up something that night, and I waited basically until like the last second to leave my house for the Steelers pick. I was like, how close are we to the Steelers pick? All right, I'm just gonna like wait to see if they pick a quarterback and see if like the internet goes nuts. And then they picked Kenny Pickett, which I was not ready for because every person on the telecast was like, there's no way. It's Malik Willis. There's no way. And then that ended up going on for the next like day and a half with Malik Willis. Shouts to him. I hope he ends up being the greatest quarterback of all time or something. Like ends up being like Russell Wilson or something. Because my God,
he probably
poor guy.
He probably will.
Yeah.
Also, I want to clarify my my report. Pick 5. He was in bed after pick 5, not 8. I gave him a little too much credit. 5 picks, he made it through.
Chris, Jesus, this bedtime thing.
Obviously, it's not working because his immune system is just like overly shutting down. Maybe that's what it is. Too much sleep, Chris Gates. Your immune system is too asleep. It's not up fighting battles. You're in the comfort of your own bed for too long. Hey, we might have stumbled on something.
I think we have. I think we need to do our own investigation. Is too much sleep bad for your immune system?
Aha. Here we go. Okay.
That's it. Let's go. We're ready. Look at us. Dan and danfitness.com. Let's get it.
That's right.
All right. Well, we got topics off our chest. Now let's open up some brews. All right. Well, today I've got one that I've had on this podcast before, but it's been a while, from Maui Brewing Company, because I really missed Hawaii this week because I saw some pictures from somebody I went to high school with, or actually somebody I went to college with who was in Maui recently, and I was just jealous. So I'm breaking out the Maui Big Swell IPA, and I just freaking love this beer, and it just makes me feel like I'm there. And I love Maui. I just do.
Wow.
Cheers.
That's
what I
Cheers
got.
Indeed. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful right there. So what I have is something from Brew Gentlemen. Haven't featured from them in a while. Brewery out of Braddock, not far outside of Pittsburgh. Love the slim. They go with the slim 12-ounce can. They do for their beer, and it's high quality beer. Got a little already sweating in here. This is the Mammoth. So it's a double IPA, American hops. It's supposed to be a little hazy, a little citrusy. So I know we're going to be talking IPAs here in a moment with our topic. So I had to grab an IPA. This is a double. So double the pleasure, double the fun. Oh boy. Oh boy, we got to go in for another one. Boy, is that good. It's extremely smooth. You certainly get the hops, but it's hazy, it's citrusy. It's almost creamy.
Damn, going in again.
I had to go in for a third one there. It's more silky than creamy, I guess, is how I would kind of describe it. Silky. It's a nice blend of hops. It's not overly bitter. It's a little citrusy. Like I said, the Mammoth from Brew Gentlemen. These guys know what they're doing, especially when it comes to IPAs. So can't go wrong. This is a beaut. Yeah, I had to go in for a couple sips there to really really get it all. It's good stuff.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but they make the Bloodlight lime beer, right? They make that one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I absolutely love that one for sure. I think I remember that because of the can. That's really why I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yep, they stick with that look. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
Love it.
Well, while we are sipping on some brews, there's a fun topic to get into right now. Devil's Backbone Brewing in Virginia is giving out free IPAs, free for a year, free beer for a year if you get a tattoo of what, you may ask? A deer. And my question is, Dan, would you do it? Is getting a tattoo of a deer that looks, nice. There's a couple options.
Yeah. There's almost, caricature cartoon almost versions of this deer, right? It's the symbol of one of their IPA blends that they have. And so, yeah, all you have to do is it was by a tattoo artist who's becoming very popular on TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's like 4 designs you can pick from. All you have to do is like document it, get a signature from the tattoo artist, something like that. You just have to make sure they got to take you through a couple steps to make sure it's valid. You get a gift card worth, I think it says $480, which is the equivalent of like $9 a week. So basically a beer a week. So beer for a year, a beer a week. By the way, that should be plenty. I would 1,000% do this if it wasn't a deer. If it wasn't, it's just the buck has never been an attractive animal, ever. Shouts to you, Giannis, but like that brand is still, the buck is just not an attractive animal, and to have that be permanently. I like the kind of designs that the tattoo artist is going with. There's colors to it and there's different elements to it, but it's still a deer right there. And that's what's making me kind of shy away from this is because of that. Because otherwise, I'm in. I'm 1,000% in.
So one is like an 80s inspired deer with like what looks like Bret Hart sunglasses on and rollerblades, and it's in like 80s like pink blue colors. And then the others is like, I guess this is like the Daft Punk deer with his helmet on. And the other deer looks like a football player. I don't know. They all say Buck Tradition on them in different ways, but it's a deer dressed up. Would you do this for free beer for a year? I think a lot of people would do this. And I'm very interested to follow up on the story to see how many people actually do it. Because I really think a lot of people would do this. Because there are just a lot of people with tattoos who don't care what they have on their bodies. It's just kind of like, whatever, it's just another one. I'll put it on there.
And like you look at it from a cost perspective, depending on how big you get that thing or what tattoo artist you go to, like I said, it's $480. So you could get a tattoo for that price, or maybe even a little less, again, depending on where you are, where you go to, or pretty close to it. So you're like just saying it in comparison. It's like, it's either a free tattoo and you're paying for the beer, or you're paying for the tattoo and the beer. It's like the same price. So it makes you think even more like, yeah, this is 1,000% worth it for somebody that has a bunch of tattoos. It's like, yeah, I don't care. Put it here. I won't see it. That's all I got to do. Then hell yeah. then hell yeah. This isn't free Bud Light for a year. This is a legitimate brewery in Virginia. So why wouldn't you consider it? Aside from the fact that it's a deer. But again, you're right. There's people with plenty of tattoos that don't care, that wouldn't care at all.
You know, there are two things with this. This is a good question to ask Chris because of Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks, and his wife is from Pewaukee, Wisconsin, right there. If he gets this buck tattoo, does that all of a sudden make him the best like in-law? Does he jump over his sisters, like the sisters-in-law, and all of a sudden he is the number one in-law?
Because he's got a permanent commitment to the Bucks, to his brother Giannis.
Yeah,
I would say so.
See,
I would say so.
It's a good thought for him.
Yeah.
And second one, did you ask your future wife in a couple weeks about this because she has tattoos? Would she be down to do this?
Same answer. Yes. If it wasn't a deer, because she has multiple. And so she's on that border where like, oh yeah, maybe it doesn't matter, but if it just give me another animal, like again, go with the same design, give me another animal. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me. But same answer. She would do it for the beer, a tattoo for the beer. Hell yeah. We're in.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go mammoth. Look at the mammoth on this can. This is a, it's
okay.
I would get that. It's still a little weird, but
it's better than that. That's just because you can see that and not know what it was and just pay no attention to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But this is a statement.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know what you're doing and you know what that looks like. Yeah. No hiding it.
Yeah. No hiding it. Well, Dan, cheers to Brews Day. Cheers to Brews Day.
Cheers indeed.
All right. Well, let's get into our first topic of the day. Dan, you got the wedding coming up in a couple weeks. I've been through this.
Yes.
I've been through this. I've had a couple weeks before the wedding. I know stuff starts going crazy. I know you start acting a little crazy. She starts acting a little crazy. Families start acting even more crazy. So Dan, what's on your mind?
Let's just lay it all out here because this is it. We've been talking about this for well over a year and a half now, and we're in crunch time. We're absolutely in crunch time, and it is crazy stressful. Meetings every other night with one vendor or another. We've got a meeting with the pastor tonight. We've got a meeting for our marriage license tomorrow. Next week, we have to meet with our photographer, our videographer, and somebody else. We have another one next week as well. The DJ, of course, DJ Scotro, the one and only. We got to meet with all these people weeks prior. Like we don't have enough shit to do. We have to have all of these meetings after work. And I've never worked so much in my free time than over the past couple of weeks and will for the next couple of weeks. It's like I had this checklist of things to check off and it's not getting smaller. I'm checking one off, but adding one or adding two things. And like, it's just driving me crazy. And like some of these things that are on the list is like the after party, because everybody likes a good after party, right? Because the reception usually, unlike yours, which was amazing, which we'll get into that perspective, but reception done, hard 11 o'clock, out at 11 o'clock. That's still early for most people, Chris. For most people, that's still like, let's keep the party going. So one challenge that we're facing is like, you're planning the biggest party of your life that everybody you know and love and cares about you are going to be there. And then you have to arrange this after party like that one wasn't good enough or long enough. And the idea and concept of that just is mind blowing. We spend months and months and a year and a half planning this thing, but it's like, oh yeah, by the way, once that's all done, people are still going to want to party. So find somewhere else for us to do that too. But you didn't have to go through that. Luckily, for the most part, it was a little different.
We didn't have to go through that, but we did have to have an extra long reception because we got married on New Year's Eve. So that was like logistically and having to pay for that was very annoying. Like having to keep the photographers there for a couple extra hours where they didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. It was like they were with us all day. They had taken enough pictures for the rest. I don't need that many pictures in the rest of my life taken that I had on my wedding day. And like we were basically just like, we looked at them one point during the reception. We were just like, you guys can like, I don't know, chill, eat some donuts. You're literally at this point just here to take pictures at midnight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was it. So that stuff was difficult. That stuff was a little difficult, but yeah, we didn't have to do the after party, but we did have to keep people around for probably like 2 hours and keep them entertained and fed and all that. So had to do that, get the burger sliders and all that stuff. But you just have to, I feel like you just have to find a place, make sure that enough people can show up at it, because it won't be everybody.
Right. That's the other thing.
Then,
it won't be everybody, but like how many is it?
Yeah, that's true.
Is it 30 or is it 55? It's like there's obviously no way to know.
Yeah, it's tough to know. It's also tough because like you have your reception in like your hotel where some guests, and both hotels are really close to the reception.
Right.
So I feel like if the place is close, a lot of people are gonna go. So
right.
For at least a little bit.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So like we have to plan this ahead of time if we're going somewhere where we say, hey, we might be bringing between 30 and 55 people from 11 o'clock till whenever you close. What can you do for us? Do you have the room for us? But yeah, we have an advantage of being within walking distance of a lot of places. But I don't know if either of our hotels are large enough and will stay open late enough to house and host that many people too. So we're running into that fun challenge. So it's like the mindset of throwing a party after the biggest party of your life. I kind of want to be like, somebody else should handle this. We shouldn't be throwing the after party. That should be the new standard. A lot has changed in weddings, right? A lot of the traditions that you didn't do, we're not doing. There's no, there's no traditional stuff like a bouquet toss, no garter pole, none of that. We're not doing any of that. But like somebody else, and maybe somebody not even in the bridal party, because you guys have also, have planned a lot as well between the bachelor party and the day of the wedding. There's responsibilities for people and stuff to plan. Like some third outside member, some like lucky winner, somebody that wasn't invited to the reception that gets a golden ticket. Their only caveat is you have to plan the after party. You can have food there. You can have drinks available for this many people. Just make it happen. I don't know what it is, but we need some sort of system to make this thing work, to make it a little easier.
That's a good one. You just need to put out like a notice to like every relative and just be like, listen, figure this out. We don't care where, we don't care when, just figure it out.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's somebody has to do something.
Yeah. That's what we need.
Here's the big question. I always wonder if the answer changes after the wedding is actually over, because I hear people ask this all the time. And early in the process, I had one answer, but it's changing now. It's like, would you do it all over again? Go through the steps, the planning, the process of all that just to relive that one day. For the past 14 months, I'm like, sure, why not? It's been good. It's been fine. It's fun talking about all this stuff, planning it. It's going to be an amazing day. But these last couple of weeks, I'm like, absolutely not. Never again. Never again. But does that day just like wipe away all of those, burnt out memories from the weeks leading up to it?
So I got really good advice for this, like way before I got married, actually. No, actually, it wasn't way before I got married. It was like when I got engaged. They were like, somebody told me just to make sure you take a moment with your wife, stand back behind everybody else at the reception when everybody's dancing, everybody's drinking or whatever, and just look at it and just take it all in. Because otherwise, everything goes so fast that day. And there's so many emotions. And I feel like I blacked out during my ceremony. Like I just, I'm like crying my face off, like everything's going on. But then like thinking back on it, and you're just like, man, like my whole life was in this room.
Yeah.
And like, that's the cool part about it all, is like, you're just looking at it all and you're just like, wow, like that person from this part of my life, that part of this part of my life. And that's the only time all these people are ever going to be in the same room again.
Mm-hmm.
So just all of this leading up to the wedding is crazy. And it's not going to be less crazy the day of the rehearsal. It's not going to be less crazy that morning. It's not like I'm just letting you know right now, it's not going to get less crazy or less intense, but just like at the end, you will be like, it's so worth it. Yeah. It's so worth it.
Yeah, that is good advice. We actually got similar advice over the weekend, that just like, it'll go so quickly. You have to be able to like take that moment away. Don't be near anybody, and just like take it all in and realize all of these people will never be in the same room ever again. And they're there because of you. So we're going to try to do that. We're going to try really hard to make sure we do that. Yeah, it's just these weeks leading up, I'm like, why would anybody want to do this ever again? But I'm hoping, that day should hopefully erase all that. Another thing I've learned, that we're within the time period of we need final head counts and, what everybody's having for their meals and whatnot. I will never, ever hold on to a wedding RSVP card ever again. Ever hold on to it. The day it comes in the mail, checking yes, checking no, checking whatever, sending that thing right back. I will never. You don't realize it until you go through it. You give people so much time to prepare. Hey, in 6 months, we're getting married. We want you there. Here's the date. Save it. Hey, in 3 months, it's still happening. Let us know if you're coming. Let us know what you're eating. You got a month to let us know. Plenty of time. You got 5-6 weeks to let us know. Oh, I forgot. Like, no, why? What? Don't hold on to RSVPs. I'll never, ever do it again. Life lesson.
Yeah. I always wondered why my mother was like, whenever my friends started getting married and I was living at home, she was like, send that back in now. Send that back in now. And I was like, okay, fine. Like they say I've got a month or a half to do this. Like, who cares? Then I got married. And there were people who held on for so long. And some of them know who they are and probably listen to this podcast, and definitely check out the clips on Instagram. And they literally, I didn't talk to them for like 2 years. So I'm telling you, that right there is such a lesson, and it's so true. It's just like, I never hold on to them long. Never, ever hold on to them long. It's like, as soon as they come in, it's like, we're going, done. Like, and when I sent yours in, I didn't even know if my wife was going or not. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to say it's just me. And then, Dan will figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, it's mind blowing how many people we have to we had to chase down. And like, you assume the answer is no at that point, but they weren't all no. Yeah. They literally weren't all no. And by the way, if it's no, that's okay too. Just tell us. This isn't a Halloween party where it's like, maybe we'll try to make it. We don't really know right now. No. You're an adult. Yes or no. That's how this has to work. This is the way of the world of planning. We need to know. And so I'll never, ever do it again. Yeah. I'm sure there's some people out there listening that think I'm talking to them. I probably am, but we've got it all figured out now. That's okay. That's why, also hint, build yourself a buffer time with your RSVP date. That's good advice. If you need to know 2 weeks before the wedding, make the RSVP cutoff 4 weeks before. So give yourself 2 weeks. Oh, we had people changing meals too. I saw my mom and sister over the weekend. They're like, hey, can we change our meals? And I'm like, no, you can't. No, you absolutely can't. That's why you had all this time. You don't change your meal preference all of a sudden. It's amazing. So never hold on to that again.
Yeah.
Something else that is just generally strange is like this constant exchanging of gifts between people, or everybody's giving everybody gifts. Like, can we just chill it out with the gifts? There's gifts for parents. There's gifts for the bridal party. There's gifts for each other. It's like, this wedding costs so much money. Why are we spending it on gifts for each other? A simple thank you note will do just fine. How about what goes around comes around? Because that's usually how these things work. I'm in your wedding, you're in my wedding, parent here, parent there. We're getting married forever. We'll be giving each other birthday and anniversary gifts and Christmas gifts for the rest of our lives. Yes, this day will be special, but we don't have to exchange a token beside the ring. We don't have to do that. It's just too much money. It's just way too much money. And you like try to be unique. You try to be special. You try to be what's something. You have to like fit everybody's needs and whatever. It's wild that we still do these constant exchanges of gifts. That's one of the traditions that really can't be shaken. It seems like it's just, you want to repay the people that have invested time and money into it. There's got to be a better way. It's more like, hey, you know what? Don't buy us anything off the registry. It's cool. Rather than me saying, I'll just buy you something instead. It's silliness, man.
It really is when people start doing all of the gift giving and all of that. And it's like, when did you get Siobhan? I'm like, what do you mean? What did I get her?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't like we got the wedding. All of my, I've drained like both of us are. What do you mean? Yeah. What are we doing here? But yeah, there's just so many gifts and all that. Like, luckily, I mean, for us, like we didn't have to do like a lot of the bridal shower and all of those things that come with, you know, the traditional wedding stuff, and people do that, and that's all nice or whatever. And families want to do all that stuff. But man, dude, when the gifts and the pressure of doing all this stuff, and you're like, wait, was I supposed to do that? Did you want me to do that? And then you're trying to figure out, it's like, wait, are you saying you didn't want me to do that, but you really did want me to do that?
Yeah, right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's also another thing that, you know, that kind of happened to me really close to wedding day. I was like, oh, wait, you really wanted me to get you something. So then it was like, gotta figure this out. Yeah. So yeah, I get you.
It is. It's crazy of all the planning and everything that's going into it. And you're like, shit, now I got to buy everybody gifts. Like, what? Just don't buy us any. How about that? Just don't buy us any. Because, yeah, we just went through the bridal shower last weekend, and it was amazing. And everybody that was there, it seemed like it was a good time. You know, I did my traditional show up at the end. A rousing ovation, by the way. It was a wonderful moment. Felt very like I stole the spotlight. Like all of a sudden it was about me. So it was wonderful. But then I had to load up my car with all these gifts. And I'm like, are these people buying us more gifts in 3 weeks? And then we have to buy them gifts, certain ones. Like, how many gifts are we exchanging with each other? It's just a little bit. It's a little much. It's a little much with the gifts. So how can you be memorable with these gifts to make them good enough, but not also spend a fortune for them to be memorable? It's like, so we kind of gave, between Shannon and I, we like kind of gave ourselves a low budget. Like, let's just keep it simple, which is the thing to do. The last wedding thing, which is a very important one to me, it's actually perfectly going to lead into where we're going right after this with music, is more of a question I have for you, Dee, as someone who cares as deeply about music as I do. I have people asking like, are you guys even having a DJ? Dan could put together the playlist that he wants and, you know, everything like that. Yes, we have an incredible DJ. I'm going to let him do his thing because I've seen his work twice and I trust him. But how many songs is too many songs to put on your must play list?
Okay, this is a tough one, and one that I had to reel myself back in. Thank goodness, like, it's tough for you guys because you guys are both like intense music listeners. Yeah. Me and Siobhan are not. Like, Siobhan is like, I heard this on the radio. I'm like, I heard that like a year ago when this person was like really small and saw them at the Roxy with 400 people or whatever. Like, that's me. So it was good to have her be like, yeah, you can't play that song. No one knows that song. You know what I mean? Because like, she is the radio listener. She is the average person who listens to music and they find it out from the radio, Sirius XM, whatever. That's when they hear a song for the first time, not us. So I think having a solid list of like 20 songs, 25 songs that you're like, I want these songs to be played at some point during. And then otherwise you have to let the DJ do their thing because this is what they do. You don't DJ weddings. Like they are the ones that bring the party for the whole crowd. This is why I don't like making playlists for people's like parties. They're like, oh, Didi, you love music, make the playlist. I'm like, you don't want me to make the playlist. You don't want me to do that. You want anyone else to make the playlist, just not me. Like that's what you want, because I don't care about anybody else. So, but the DJ does. So you just have to have those songs. They'll know when to sprinkle them in. They'll know when to put those songs in at certain times, and it like works out. Because that happened with our wedding, and it worked out perfectly. And so I think that's what you have to do. You got to trust your DJ. And that's why, you make sure you get a good DJ. You've seen his work, you know what he does. And then you give them the list of songs and they fit them in perfectly. Because even if the song is something that nobody knows, they know what to play next. Right. And I think that's the most important thing. It's like they know when to cut a song off. They know when to mix a song into something else. Like DJs know what they're doing with the list, but you don't want to make it so the DJ can't do anything. That's the thing, because you're paying him. Otherwise, what are you doing? Like, I could go up there and hit play for you.
Right. You don't capture the vibe and the environment and how people are feeling in that moment, because that's the DJ's kind of responsibility to keep the party going. And if a song isn't working and he is, nobody's controlling that, then it's just going to stay that way. He's got at least the ability to change that up. And you're right. It's hard to have a balance of like songs we want to hear that we know that maybe not everybody knows, but sprinkle them in at the right time, or they know them because of like me. They're like, oh, I know this song because of Dan or because of Shannon, and they like it. So let's go join them on the dance floor, that type of thing. So that's a good number. I appreciate that. that. That's very helpful. So that's just a little smattering of wedding cheddar as we wind down the few weeks that we have to go. And I'm sure my Off Your Chest segment next week will be wedding related. And, but we did do some honeymoon excursion bookings and like looking at things like offers this week. So excited about all of that just a week afterwards. So a lot of stress, but a lot of good stuff coming up.
I like it. But yeah, here's another thing to check off your list. This is something that a lot of people don't know. Yeah. I had fun making the playlist for the dinner music.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I had a lot of fun with the DJ. It's like, I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, you pick it.
No, you pick it. This is when you get to have a little bit more fun with your wedding playlists, because no one cares what's going on at that time. Only you know what's going on at that. You can kind of play anything you want. And the reason why I thought about this when it came to my wedding, it was super important for me, was because I went to my friend Kurt and Michelle's wedding, and their DJ was playing like all like boy band songs, and you could barely notice it.
Yeah.
But then when people did, you just saw them like kind of like put their fork down. It's like, he playing O-Town? It was just a funny thing to see the people around just like, what is that 98 degrees? What's happening right now?
Yeah.
And you're just not used to hearing anything during it. So I had a lot of fun with that for mine. And it's like, it's not like I did like a boy band theme or anything. It was just like, I was just playing like deep cuts of songs that I knew weren't going to get played during the wedding. And that like made me happy while I was eating tacos.
Yeah. That's great. That's
just amazing. A little thought.
Advice. Yeah.
Thank
you for that too.
Just a little fun there that you can have, because you can basically play anything you want at that time.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah. I love it. I appreciate all that advice.
Love it. All right. Well, speaking of music, let's do this one really quick. We saw this tweet where a guy who was working at a piano bar, somebody came up to him and gave him $100 and said, play Freebird. So I asked the Brunch Breakdown. I was like, what song would you play? Would you ask someone to play for $100? And what song would you throw $100 back in someone's face if you were in the piano man's position and someone told you to play a song that you didn't like? Go, Dan.
I'll tell you what, there aren't a whole lot of songs worth $100 for some generic piano man to play. And it's songs just like we were talking about that I would want to hear and nobody else would. Like, play the acoustic version of My Blood from 21 Pilots on the piano, because it's like my favorite song on the piano ever. And like, no one would, I would pay $100 for that, but nobody else around me would enjoy it. Like, I don't want to hear a piano guy play, certain songs. There are certain songs that should be off limits. Freebirds certainly being one of them. Don't do that. $100.
Oof.
$100. I don't know. Like, if I'm trying to get the crowd moving, like maybe Sweet Caroline, Caroline, is like an easy, like, hey, dude, we gotta, and that's why I'd be throwing down 100, right? Like, this party sucks. Here's $100. Play this song. I think this is going to change the environment. Not like I'm desperate for this song. Play My Blood by 21 Pilots. So that's like what comes to mind is like, what song is really worth that? I don't know. Did you have one that automatically would be good on the piano and be worth 100?
I don't know if it'd be good on the piano. I just know that I would pay him $100 to try, and it would be Back That Thing Up. That's what I would want the piano guy to do at this boring piano bar where the party is just sucking and you're there because like somebody's birthday and they really wanted to go to dueling pianos and the shit's terrible.
Yeah.
And I would be like, here's $100, play Back That Thing Up. I just have to see what happens, because that's the situation I thought about, in that like I have to do something to make myself entertained. Here's $100. Play Back That Thing Up. How talented are you, sir?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I just thought of another one as you said that. That's an amazing answer. Roses by Outkast. That piano intro, I actually used to know how to play it. I used to play it all the time, and it would get people right away. Like, you'll get people, hearing it immediately and lighting up, and then just going ooh ooh ooh.
Oh
like,
my God.
let's go. Give me that.
Crazy,
That's my
bitch.
$100 song.
Dumbass.
New answer.
Crazy. Oh my God. I haven't heard that song in so long. Throw that on the playlist.
It's going on.
Holy crap.
Adding it. Amazing song. Amazing.
And the song that I would throw $100 back in someone's face, you already said it. It's Sweet Caroline. Throw it right in somebody. Get that. Nope. You gave it to the wrong guy. Nope. I'm the piano man. No.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, oddly enough, mine is Country Roads. It's like, if you even come anywhere near, I have it on my list. I did not just do that on the fly. I swear to you, have it on my list right here. Just get that money out of here. You're gonna have to add a couple of zeros onto the end, my friend, if you want to sniff in that song.
Dude, not gonna lie, Country Roads #2 on my list also. So just to let you know that I'm not biased, Country Roads #2 on my list too, because I hate that song. Listen, West Virginia through and through. I hate Country Roads so much, and it probably has more to do with the fact that they teach you how to sing that song from the time you like first step into a West Virginia public school, and I hate that song. I just do. I hate it so much.
And one of the reasons it popped into my head is that Shannon and I were at a wine bar this past weekend. We were like, let's just go out for, 2 hours. We're stressed out about, we'll go have some wine. We'll have some, wine and cheese, whatever. They had singer, guitar player there, small little wine bar up the road from us. And we're like, this is nice. First time we've been here. Couple songs in. I'm like, yeah, these guys are kind of talented. It's pretty good. And all of a sudden they're throwing down, they're starting to sing country roads. And I like, look at Shannon. I'm like, we got to go. I'm like, that's it. It's it. We got to get out of here. I can't do this. We're supposed to come here to relax. And now I'm like antsing away, like getting ready to boo these people. I mean, we're at like a nice wine bar. I'm like, boo, like just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So
yikes. God, that's
I'm glad
terrible.
it's on your list too.
Yeah, absolutely on my list, because I had Sweet Caroline and Country Roads, because I just hate both those songs, and like I hate them so much. Hate them both.
Yeah.
So sound like an Ohio State fan, I guess, at that point, or a Penn State fan at that point. It's like, I hate this school, I hate that school. That's me, Penn State guy. All right. Well, let's get into music we do like, what we're listening to this week. Get it started, Dan. Go for it.
All right. Gonna get it started. Gonna go quick here. Ava Max, Maybe You're the Problem. I'm telling you what, man, this song's brand new, but it's already hitting the waves, the radio. I love it. Another pop, just massive hit from Ava Max. I honestly was like wondering first time. I'm like, Sweet But Psycho. I'm like, this is a banger, but like, are we in for a one-hit wonder? The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute hell no. If you've missed out on the other ones, do not miss out on this one. Maybe You're the Problem. A lot of lyrics that a lot of people can relate to as well. Ava Max, she's back, baby. Let's go.
Dude, I'm telling you, I know we're supposed to go quick right now, but that song was on my list. I have a backup, so we're all good.
Okay.
But dude, that song is like Ava Max done it. She has another cardio banger. Like it's another one. Like that's gonna own every spin class, every workout class for the next 10 years. This song's amazing. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good All one. Right. Lizzo, About Damn Time. I absolutely love this song. Lizzo, it's About Damn Time. She came back with like an official first single. Album's coming out in July, I believe. And this is a nice starter for her album. So I'm really excited. I love this song so much. So About Damn Time, Lizzo.
Great pick. Group called Superorganism. I think I put them on a playlist back on like the OG Brunch Breakdown before we restarted this whole thing. They had a song in 2018 called Everybody Wants to Be Famous. And I instantly fell in love with it, love with their sound. They finally got some new music out. There's a new single called Crushed.zip. Just like a file would be, crushed.zip. New album coming out this summer. It's kind of like twisted, they like use different sound effects, like some clanky noise, which sounds like absolutely horrible, but honestly, give the song a try. It's like a twisted indie pop song by Superorganism. Check them out.
All right. I love breakup songs. I love them so much. Charlie Puth has possibly my favorite song of 2022. And this is going to stay there. That's hilarious. I love this song.
Okay.
Have you heard it?
I haven't. No.
Oh my God, dude. It's hilarious. Anyone who has been in a relationship that just, didn't go the way they wanted it to, and you felt like you wasted a year of your life or longer, and then they want you back and you're like, ha ha ha, that's hilarious. And it's amazing. I mean, Charlie Puth, I'm a big Charlie Puth fan. When he gets in the pocket outside of See You Again, I'm here. I just hate See You Again.
Yeah, there's one of his other more recent singles. I saw somebody post on Facebook about it, like Serious Tone. It felt like it was like the new Charlie Puth single, not the one you're talking about, but the one prior to it was like, he's like, this is such bad music. He's like, Charlie Puth, you should be embarrassed. How dare you call this music? And I was like, oh no, I'm getting real on Charlie Puth here.
Yeah, Light Switch is not good.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, it's not good. I was like, oh no, Charlie. But this one brings me right back. Brings me right back. I'm a Puthinator, whatever. That's hilarious.
You're in.
This song's amazing. Listen to it.
Last one for me is The Interrupters. I think they've been on the playlist. It's been a while, but they're back with a new song called In the Mirror. And ladies and gentlemen, without Chris Gates here, I can comfortably say this. They're making ska cool again. Hey. They are. You don't have to go back to the early 2000s and live in that era anymore. The Interrupters are making ska cool again, and they're doing it by powerful, talented lead vocalists. And the lead singer of The Interrupters, she's extremely talented. Love her voice. And it's just a super catchy song. It's like getting me in like pre-wedding hype mode. I'm ready to go. It's like pre-dance floor. Let's go. So In the Mirror from The Interrupters. Check it out.
All right. My last song is only 1 minute long. Justin Bieber, I Feel Funny. There is something about this song that I need more of. And I feel like we might get more of it because I think some other people should jump on this song and make this like a 3-minute jam. So Justin Bieber, I Feel Funny. Also, one more. Camila Cabello, La Buena Vida. We're probably going to put Camila. I'm probably going to have Camila Cabello somehow on this list for the next like 10 weeks. So
you're just reliving last year's album and like one of the biggest songs of the summer that you just stumbled on last week.
God. Anyways, La Buena Vida. Check that song out. And
two more funny. Bonus tracks. I love it. Bonus tracks to wrap up. Holly Humberstone. We saw her at Coachella. Love Holly Humberstone. She sang this song live there. Her new single is called Sleep Tight. We'll add that on there. We got to fill up the playlist this week. We're not going to have Chris Gates' song. Let's go. And Arcade Fire. I love Arcade Fire. They got another single in prep for their album coming out called Unconditional One. I really love the direction this band is going, and they just give me the chills. It makes me want to play live music again. So Arcade Fire, Holly Humberstone, and of course, Roses by Outkast.
And while we're at it, Pink Pantheress, Willow Smith,
yes.
Where You Are.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yes.
Holy crap. Mm-hmm. Is that song amazing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
All for it.
Dude,
all for that.
Willow Smith is the coolest person making music right now. Like,
honestly.
It's just, seriously. Like,
honestly.
Speaking of which, I bet, not headlining Coachella, 10 p.m. set, Willow,
10 p.m.
2023
main outdoor stage, one of the two.
Yeah. That Doja
the way
Cat
she's going.
spot.
Yeah.
It's
she'll have guest on guest on guest, and they'll just be like, every song's a hit. Every song's a hit.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Just
I love it.
Yeah. I think Willow is going to be on a lot of bold lettering Willow at festivals in 2023.
For sure.
She's everywhere right now.
For sure.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Shouts to her dad too. What's up, Will?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that is the Brunch Breakdown. Thank you guys all for listening. Any final thoughts, Dan?
Don't get too much sleep, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good for the immune system.
Beautiful. We're out.